Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Whelmed. Noted, Episode 1, also called Noted. Uh, for those of you who haven't been here before, this is going to be my recap. This is going to be my recap show 2 of Young Justice. Now, usually there are a couple people here with me. Usually there's, Joe Davis, but because I decided to do this Thanksgiving week, he didn't have time to watch the 2 episodes. So he'll be back next week. Should be here at some point. He was the first person to retweet the tweet for the show. He just has not shown up yet. So maybe he'll be here, maybe not. Hopefully he'll be here. Because I've done a couple episodes with just me talking into the void before. I can do it. It's just nicer to have people to talk to. So, so we start off the first episode, Happy New Year, with the final scene of, and that wasn't quite the final scene, but it was one of the final scenes where they are talking about the missing 16 hours of 6 members of the Justice League during the old takeover by Vandal Savage. It was the finale of the show, of season 1 rather, and just bringing that up, and then we are then brought into a sewer scene where it's Martian taking on Clayface and Robin, helping out from the shadows, throwing his explosives, and they're able to subdue Clayface. Somebody who last season they got their butts handed to, and things are a little different. Superboy's got these longer sleeves now, for whatever reason, and Superboy turns and says, "Thanks for the help, Robin," and then Robin walks out. Well, it was nothing really. It's like you guys did all the work, and it's not Jesse McCartney's Dick Grayson. Oh no, we're doing Tim Drake now. This is immediately followed by Garfield coming down from the sewers. We got Blue Beetle flying in, and we got Bumblebee coming through. And then all the bottom it says 5 years later. I should say the first time that I was watching the show, I panicked at that 5 years later, because I'm just like, wait, whoa, hold on, 5 years later? That means that everything, 5 years of this team? No. And it just, I completely lost it at this moment when I was first watching the show in 2012, 2013, somewhere around then. Oh, looks like Tom also did not have a chance to watch the episodes. It happens. like I said, it's on me for having this Thanksgiving week. So don't worry, don't worry, guys. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's my fault. You've got, it's 5 years later, and immediately off the bat, you notice that things are not quite the same. Obviously, Dick is now Nightwing, and he's sort of running the team now. Miss Martian and Superboy, and they seem to be on the outs. Also, I forgot to mention Lagoon Boy is also there. I completely neglected to mention him. Yuri Lorenthal's actual main character role. Alluded to him last season, but yeah, here he is. He was a background character in the Atlantis episode last season, but now he's the main character. Well, as much of the main character as you can be. We'll get to that at the point, but what happens next is we find out that Mal Duncan is now in the cave now, because you can do that if you're a trusted friend, I guess. And also we get some it's like we find out that there's this attack on, was in some sort of politician. I think he was in season 1. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure he was. Oh, hey Cal, you want to join in? Then just click on that Hangouts link that's up in the chat. And anybody's free to come in here at any point. It's like because this is just a discussion show that it's sort of free form. I don't really have structure at all. I just let anybody in. So if you want to join in, just click on that link and you'll be into the hangout, and we'll be talking. All right. So where was I? Oh yeah. So this politician guy who's some sort of UN senator, I think, UN representative, something. Being attacked by Lobo. This is like, whoa, Lobo, what are you doing? Just all right. So I'm working for a special we're doing Thursday, but I'm listening to support. Okay, Cal, don't worry about it. All right. So politician guy attacked by Lobo, and he's countered by Batgirl, Wonder Girl, who are now a part of the team, and they're at this moment they are the Beta Squad, which is something that was brought up a little bit earlier, but now because the team has grown so much, they don't send the entire team on every single mission. They separate into squads, which is sort of what role is. He's sort of like squad in between communication guy back at the cave, which kind of useful for a tactical team, I would say. So, Lobo gets his hands on the center, literally rips him in half, and an alien crawls out. So yeah, this is where the invasion of Young Justice Invasion comes in. There's aliens. So yeah, uh, everybody's all super confused, and then we get to the real villain of the series, G. Gordon Godfrey, who is delightfully played by Tim Curry. And oh man, I I just love everything about this character. He's just like, oh, he's just like always not trusting the Justice League, and it's like there's this one point where he's like, sure, Superman and Miss Martian, Martian Manhunter, they're two good aliens, and here we have two bad aliens. How many more are gonna land in the bad column? And and it's just like he's just sort of this manipulative force for the rest of the season, and he's just so great. So it's like I'm saying in the chat, this episode is really good for setting up everything that happens in season 2. Well, not everything. There are some things that do come out of nowhere. In episode 6 or 8, around there. But we'll talk about that when we get to there. Well, actually, no, yeah, this episode does set somewhat of that up too. I guess. So next we got the team sort of trying to figure out what's going on. So this is when we get introduced to Adam Strange, and Adam Strange is the Zeta Tube engineer for the Justice League. They're all up talking in. Tom, I'm so glad you're not. You said that in the chat and not in there. Just, yep. Okay. We'll get to that. Eventually, we'll get to that. I won't be reaching into the future episodes. I'll try to. So we've got Justice League in there. We also at this point find out that Zatanna and Rocket are the newest members of the Justice League. There's this whole conversation about the Krolatanes, which is the alien race that was, posing as the politician guy, who I think is part of the Relation plot line last season. I think, I don't remember, but we've got, it's like you find out that we've got, this other planet, Ran, is where these Krolatanes supposedly got their got the boom tube technology, and Adam wants to send a group to Rand to figure it out. Unfortunately, they can't send anybody in the Justice League because 9 hours painted those 6 members of the Justice League as intergalactic terrorists, including the Green Lantern. Yeah. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. So the team of Miss Martian, Superboy, and Beast Boy decide to, go off and go to Rand with Adam Strange to figure out what's going on. Last we see in the episode, we get a little conversation between Superboy, Miss Martian, and Dick, along with Rocket and Zatanna, saying, guys, the fact that you said you're not members of the Justice League, but you do have an open invitation to join, literally whenever. And they're like, no, we're fine exactly where we are. Which I'm like, yeah, it's like this is the team that you guys grew and cultivated together. Characters that are seemingly not in the episode. Different reasons we'll get to in later episodes. But for now, back at the base, Lagoon Boy, he's just like, he just wants to be on Alpha Squad, and he wasn't on Alpha Squad. He just wanted to be on Beta Squad, and then got thrown on Gamma Squad. Tim Drake and Blue Beetle, and they were supposed to go investigate an area at a junkyard because it's like it's a junkyard. How bad could it possibly be? So they make it to the junkyard. All they find is a shed. Blue Beetle blows up the shed. That's just a shed. That wasn't it. There's no technology there. So they're looking at the readings. I'm like, oh, this is underground. Hey, Lagoon Boy, can you go check under the water there? So Lagoon Boy swims under, finds an underwater sort of opening. I just remember what I actually wanted to name this episode. Darn it. Yeah, Lagoon Boy does Hulk out on Gamma. Lagoon Boy's powers is that he essentially just becomes a beefier version of himself when he uses his magic, which is, I guess, kind of cool. He's not Aqualad, but he's a different character. He's fine. It's fine. So we get them infiltrating, and then that's when they find out. I can in fact change the name after, and we'll get to what I wanted to name this afterwards because I'm like, oh yeah, it's like, what was I gonna name this? I'll just name it the name of the first episode, the name of the show. So, but we'll get to what I actually remembered that I wanted to name that later. So we land in, and they find out that this is not just. This is their main base of operation on Earth. So they're like, okay, it looks like we're the ones that are going to have a lot of work to do. Everybody is like, all right, we'll figure it out. We'll try to take this down. And the Krolataeans seem to have some sort of aversion to Jaime Reyes as the Blue Beetle. And it's just like, sort of is like, wow, why are they so afraid of Jaime? That he's just a guy in a suit. Oh well. So turns throughout the episode, Jaime is arguing with this beetle, and if you've watched their exposure to Blue Beetle before this was Batman Brave and the Bold, and I knew that he had conversations with the beetle all the time. And we won't really get to outwardly see this until later in the season, but they do have a lot of back and forth over there, and I like it. I personally do like it, and I like it more than the beeps that we got in Batman Brave and the Bold. But that's me. I'm sure Tom has another opinion on that, because we've talked about Blue Beetle and Beast Boy a decent amount in the off season. But yeah, so they scared the Kroltans so much they set off the base self-destruct sequence. Is that they probably should go save all the hostages that the Kroltans had been posing as. So they're like, "Oh, let's go that," and then they go into a chamber further down, and they find all the hostages. They're immediately all scared of both Blue Beetle and of Lagoon Boy because they look like aliens and they were just taken by aliens, and they're just like, "But we're good guys. I'm an Atlantean," and then it's just like they're able to free them, able to get everybody out of there. The base explodes. They all surface, and then sort of mirroring technically the second episode, but the first episode of season 1 of the Justice League just slowly starts to descend on them, and then of course we get Nightwing coming in on the super cycle, and he's like, "Dude, way to get your feet wet," because earlier on the episode, James Tim, leader of Gamma Squadron, he said it'll be a nice way to get your feet wet, and I forgot to bring that up, and I'm like, oh right, that's what I want to name this episode. So that's what this episode is going to be named later. So yeah, and then of course at the very end of the episode we get a little peek into next part 2 of this. Noted. I'm calling it Just Whelmed Noted, by the way. That's the name of season 2. Just Whelmed Noted. Because I have to. For reasons. Anyway. So we get arriving on Ran. And that brings us to episode 2. Looks like Tom Zambino is now here to make his usual snarky remarks despite never actually watching the episodes. So, hello, Tom. Popping in for your lunch break. Well, don't worry. This probably won't be as long as my old episodes. So don't worry about that. I'll probably be done by the time you're done with lunch. Next we've got, episode 2, Earthlings, where, the 3 sort of Earthlings of the team make it to Ran, and they meet up with the Ranian scientist and his daughter that Adam Strange had been working with for as long as he's been coming back and forth to Ran. That's when Ms. Martian's just like, okay, I've had enough of this sort of not speaking the same language, so I'm just gonna mentally translate for everybody so that we can just talk to each other and just make it easier. And then, yep, now they're just all talking to each other. They're able to say that the Krolotans stole the technology that he was working on because it was, but he didn't report it to the police because it is illegal to, well, not really illegal, but it's very much frowned upon to develop technologies to visit other, planets because they're very isolationist, I guess, and especially they want nothing to do with Earth because of the new status of the Justice League. Just so they're like, they want nothing to do with Earth, and then it's just like, and then they're asking us like, you have nothing to do with those Justice League criminals, do you? And then they're just like, with the League, just like straight face, even though it's pretty much a lie. You are very much associated with the League. I mean, your uncle is one of the quote unquote criminals, so. They devise a plan to have everybody but the scientist go into the jungle, find what's going on. So everybody gets on a train. They're like, you know what? And it's like, yeah, we should have no problem. Everybody's all disguised. Beast Boy's dressed up like a native dragon bird thingy because he can do that. He's turn into whatever animal he could turn into it. And then it's just like and then the police come in, and Adam Strange is just like, I'm just gonna be real weird, and I'm gonna distract them, and you guys are gonna go. So then he starts quoting, I believe, Alice in Wonderland to get these officers to chase him away, and it's just like this very strange, eh, eh, very strange way of getting them off their tail. And he escapes. He's just like flying around on his jetpack thing that he has as in the comics. I don't know. So then they have this sort of just train ride getting to the jungle area, and then Beast Boy's just like trying his best to get Connor and Megan back together because he desperately. He's just like, I just want you two to be back together. So I'm just gonna kind of say, hey guys, remember when you came and visited me? Man, that was so great. Yep. I mean, Tom, that's not far off from the actual quote in the episode. It's like, beware the Jabberwock, I believe, is something like that. Something along those lines. It's this whole long sequence that I listened to, like, because I was trying to get a good screenshot from that segment for the preview image. So they make it. This is the show that was on Netflix, Cal. It's anymore, so you've got to go find the legal way to watch the series, and because there's totally a legal way to watch it at the moment. Yeah, legally. Anyway, so next we got everybody arrives in the jungle, and everybody's like, all right, so we gotta find the Krolotans, and Krolotans are like, man, these guys are coming on us. We gotta hunt them. So the Krolotans have their stolen mech things, and they keep doing things. Beast Boy tries to get a souvenir. He finds this flower in this sort of swamp thing. Professor's daughter, whose name I forgot. Sorry. Is like stops Beast Boy from grabbing it because there's like this sort of like fire swamp thing that just sets everything on fire, and pretty much they say if it's pretty, it's designed to kill you. Boy replies for like the millionth time, and I haven't brought it up a single time. He replies with noted. So, because Beast Boy, he's the souvenir guy, right? It's Beast Boy. Beast Boy is the souvenir guy. Where's Wally? He's not been in either of these episodes, and it's supposed to be like, okay, well, where's Wally during all this? Where's Wally? Where's Artemis? Where's Aqualad? Where are these guys? It's just like you're giving us no answers because it's 5 years later and nobody knows what's going on, unless you played the game that came out after happened, but takes place in between seasons 1 and 2, where it sort of brings up all these issues about what's going on with Aqualad, Wally, and Artemis, and because they're all kind of tied to one event that happens, but yeah, I do want to play that, but I haven't played it. I do want to play it. You don't need to play it to understand what's going on. It will be revealed in later episodes, but for right now, we have no idea where Wally, Aqualad, or Artemis are. So eventually, they break off into separate teams to go try to figure out what's going on. Superboy and the professor's daughter, and they have this sort of heart to heart about, well, what's going on? How long were you and Megan together? Because like things are real weird between the two of you. And He was like, Superboy just simply replies, "We were together for most of my life," and it's just like we broke up. I had to break up with her, no choice. And it's just like, what does that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you had no choice but to break up with her? What's going on? And it's like, you're just like the whole thing with these first couple episodes. It's just like they do all these things, and you're like, well, wait, what you mean? What do you mean? Because it's like, yeah, this is stuff that'll be answered later on, but we're just like little niblet here, and then just like, nope. But you pretty much can. They leave enough to try to figure out what's going on. But Miss Martian and Beast Boy, they break off, and Beast Boy's just like having fun talking about, hey, if I get injured, you'll give me another blood transfusion, and then maybe I'll get some different powers. Pretty much stating that's exactly how he got his powers. It's like, yeah, that's how he got his powers. And it's pretty much spelling it out for you if you couldn't infer that from his episode in season 1. And then we get a very sad scene where Beast Boy comes to a waterfall, and then he has this sort of PTSD flashback of his mother's death. And we find out that Queen Bee had some sort of hand in it, and it's confirmed, but a lot of people seem to think that the fact that he was technically under her thrall somehow led to her death, which is very depressing. And oh boy, they then get snuck up on and taken out, no problem, by those mechs. So, but because of this, the Superboy and the Professor's daughter, as well as Adam Strange and the Professor, meeting up with each other now, is that, hey, we're not being translated anymore. Which Superboy then's like, oh, Miss Martian's in trouble. To go and take on these mechs, which Superboy dismantles with like no issue. He frees Megan, Garth, and you know and the wakes up Miss Martian, and it's like it's this nice scene of her sort of speaking gibberish, and then blah 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 blah, wake up, and then she's like sort of immediate. Oh, we're translating again. Okay, cool. So Miss Martian's like, okay, I've had enough of this. She picks up the Commander Krillitane and just goes ham on his brain. Like, I would be surprised if he was functioning at any point later in his life, because it's like he was, you see drool dripping down from his face. He's just like, does not care. She is getting all the information she needs and rips the sash off of him, throws him to the ground, and it's like, and then she's just like putting on this facade, just straight up brain murder some dude, and throws the sash to Garth, a souvenir, and then Connor's just like, wait, where did you get that? And he looks aside and he sees like the practically brain dead alien. She's like, he just has this god damn it look on his face. So it's like so you assume that probably has something to do with that he and Megan broke up, and just like, ooh, ugh, yikes. So using the information that she was able to rip from his brain forcefully, they find the Quillitane base, but around this time is when Gamma Squad's assault takes place, up all these getting ready to blow up all these platforms, all the Krolatanes just sort of flood back in. They destroy the platforms eventually. They're able to stop these Krolatanes from, and it's just like, but by the end of the episode, you're just like, what is going on with all of this? And everybody's just like, I don't know. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. It's like, Platane's goal was, we don't know why they're after this. We don't know anything. And it's just like, we don't know anything. Well, I know it because I've watched this series multiple times. But as an audience, you don't know what's coming. Wally, Artemis, or Aqualad. So it's like, and I believe that everybody makes a return next week, but as of now, we have no idea. And like I said at the beginning, when I was first watching this, I'm just like so confused because I'm like, what's going on? It's just like, I don't know what's going on. Where's Wally? Wally's my favorite character. Why is he not here? Reasons as to why he's not there. It's not, it's like it is explained. It's explained better with Young Justice Legacy, the video game. But and I guess I'll probably bring that up when it comes up. I think it comes up next episode, next week. But as of now, that's where this episode ends, because this is where we usually just have some wrap up discussion. But there's nothing. There's really nothing to discuss. It's like, do you know what's going on? You don't know. Oh wait, I do think that by the end of the episode, it's later. It is revealed that McGann and Superboy find out what happened. We don't know what happened yet, technically, because it's revealed next episode. But that's enough for this week, I think. I hope you guys enjoyed my part, the second part of me just rambling for the entire episode. Yeah, it was only about 34 minutes. It's not too bad. Not too bad. So I guess we'll do some episode whatever of Bunk Lock. I think 13. I think I'm on episode 13. Should be coming around soon. Sort of announcement involving the future of that series. Not too long from now. Tomorrow I will be making my, I hope, return to Gamer Grudge as I take on some people that I in a match that only consists of people that I have for, be it in Gamer Grudge or in fan friction. So that should be fun, hopefully. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next week as we take on episodes 3 and 4 of the series, and I will just sort of be talking a little bit of nonsense as I look up what episodes are real quick. So I'm just going to be filling up airtime so that nothing's really, even though nothing is happening, I'm just sort of not content, I guess, as I forgot to pull up the Wikipedia to say what episodes these are. And it is episodes 3, Alienated, and episode 4, Salvage. Episodes that we cover next week. So I hope to see you guys all there next time, hopefully with Joe, and hopefully with Tom, and hopefully other people too. You guys can come in too. It's not just Tom and Joe, even though that's what it is for most of the episodes. But see you guys next time. Take care.